everybody, welcome back to my coloring channel. Today I want to do a full book flip through of Meine Reise, durch Afrika by Berman. And that's because I recently put a poll on YouTube asking people what book would they be interested in doing a full book color along. And so most of the votes came actually for this book, even though close behind it was The Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosens and then The Tales from Atlantis by Hannah Carlson. So I might end up doing all three, but since this was in the lead, I wanted to start with this. So my plan for doing the full book color along is to do a video per page or per double spread, and I'm actually wondering if I could do it in chronological order. And so I would start from, like I said, this page, move into this, and then just kind of go through the book in that chronological order, trying to get one video out a week. I know I've been a bit behind in getting videos out. Life kind of gets caught up with you, but I think that holding myself accountable to a full book color along could actually really help me make sure I'm more accountable in posting more regularly, and it gives you something to follow along with. So the style of coloring I think that I might be doing, or sorry, the style of video would not be a multi-hour color along, kind of like what Karen Sativa does over on My Colorful Country Life. Rather, it would be something a bit shorter where I would kind of slow down and do a voiceover of the techniques I'm using with all the colors that I'm using. And then once that's explained, kind of just speed it up to show you the rest. It depends again on like what page I'm doing. Like this one here might be a longer video just because all of the elements here are so different. But if it's something perhaps like this where it's more repetitive, I think I would maybe do something like film even like half of it and do a mirror flip, because it is a mirror flip, or film an element and then the other elements would kind of like fit in. So that's just kind of my idea for that there. But to get started, before that, I wanted to just go over looking through this book with you, this beautiful book that just came in the mail today, Meine Reise, durch Afrika. So this is the first page that we have, this very, very beautiful mandala. And in the middle, you have some nice fishies with this really beautiful pattern, and then it kind of branches out into showing different, I guess like the different regions of Africa that you will see later on in the book. So you have some of your Egyptian pyramids here with the northeastern parts of the country. You're kind of going towards the south a bit more with Nairobi, Kenya, pulling all the way down, I'm guessing, to South Africa with some of these like zebras, maybe they're from Kilimanjaro. You also have elements of maybe Morocco over here, or Tunisia. So it's kind of has like a nice mix of different regions mixed together with some stars and firecrackers kind of in the background as well. It's a really, really beautiful mandala page. Very happy, and I love this elephant. It is so adorable. Has like a little smile on it. You then have the postcard page, and so for this one here, I'm kind of imagining just kind of doing maybe like a paper color background, or maybe even a sky background, and then all of these different kind of postcards kind of connecting. Maybe I'd even add in some arrows to show we started here and then we went there, as it kind of goes across those different journeys. And here's another mask, again, sort of before the book begins, and it says Gute Reise, which I think means good journey. And so another one here could be really beautiful in earth tones. I'm kind of seeing maybe even navy tones. I'm definitely imagining green on the snakes though, over there. And finally, coming over here, you have another beautiful page. This time it's kind of like a full-length vignette. Reminds me a tiny bit of The Lion King for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it's all the animals coming together. Like in the beginning of the movie, all the different species came together to celebrate the birth of Simba. It kind of reminds me of that, with all these different animals together with a mountain in the background. Maybe that's Mount Kilimanjaro. And then it has words that I cannot read, and I'm not going to translate since I don't speak German. And yeah, and now it comes into just like a little map. And one of those great little travel things over here where you kind of like pointing out places where people can go visit. Madagascar. Fun fact, I actually lived in Madagascar for 2 years when I was a kid. South Africa, Mali, Morocco, Egypt, Kenya, Tanzania, and coming in over here to just like a full page of Africa itself. The whole continents, with some sea life included, and it's this really, really gorgeous map, almost like an old-fashioned map with torn edging, kind of like rolled up over here. And you know those kinds of maps, those really old maps that had, you know, little whale drawings on the ocean areas, but some of those maps, those old maps I'm thinking about, only had like continents and people on the edges, and the inside of countries are often empty, again because of lack of exploration or understanding of the world, the same way that we might have today. And so this one here is just a ton of small little elements over here, so small little vignettes that you can kind of do over time. You can even maybe use like a monochrome palette with that to just kind of weave it all together. And then you're coming to this gorgeous, gorgeous city in the sky. And I'm imagining doing this because I think Rita Berman already did this using her just amazing color combos. She just weaves colors in ways you wouldn't expect, with the pinks and the purples and the greens. And so I'm wondering if I could try to follow along something she's done and then show that to you and follow along, if that makes sense. If we can like decode and the secrets of Rita Berman's wonderful coloring style. And then the journey seems to begin maybe somewhere in Europe, with all of the stuff together, your hiking shoes, the mat, the old-fashioned suitcases, and old-fashioned lamps even saying good luck on their way to go. A tiny little framed picture of the cat that they'll miss. And over here you kind of have the story again begin with the cat sitting next to the fireplace, getting ready for this travel. You can see the words travel there, even like paint brushes to show that it's still very artistic. And a little airplane thing over here showing even though they're home, they want to travel. And even the book Africa is the only other thing that's there, and a tiny little ticket, an air ticket that's stuck over here. So it just gives you hints of the upcoming travel that the resident of this place is going to do. And you can play a lot with the lighting over here. If it's evening and the fire's burning, you can just have like the lighting come from the below and the side and just kind of make the top and other areas a bit darker. I would also add in a horizon line at the bottom to kind of show that that's the wall, and extend this out, and then that would be kind of like the floor. So that way you could turn this not into a page only there, but like the whole page to the edges, make that a bit of a vignette. And then just kind of like the busy city streets somewhere in Europe with those beautiful houses and big cathedrals mixed with the modern buildings and like the cranes. I just love like the eclectic mix of European cities that you can really capture here. Some old-fashioned cars bringing the person all the way to the Frankfurt airport as it's checking in, and they're making their way over, and our little cat has shown up right over there. And then the story begins over here in Egypt, in Cairo. And so the plane is almost like crashing in from the sky, and the camel and the camelman are just looking up at it. It's really dynamic, and there's lots of motion here. You can see like the motion lines there, the motion lines of these birds with their beautiful beaks. I wonder if they're maybe framed after an ibis, I don't know. And then you kind of see like the big city of Cairo with the mix of the water and the architecture that you have there with some of those beautiful palm leaves. Then you kind of have like one of those Nile tour boats, those houseboats. It reminds me a tiny bit of Death on the Nile, that recent Agatha Christie adaptation that came out. And you have your ubiquitous pigeons. Pigeons are everywhere. They would be in Europe, they'll be in America, they'll be in Africa, as well as maybe some kind of gulls in the background as our seabirds. And then you're moving into perhaps in the sea boat, because you can see the water and the land, so they're probably like inside the boat itself, enjoying a nice cup of hot Moroccan tea. I'd imagine it being maybe like mint tea. And this beautiful spigot that allows you to like make these long pours into these beautiful porcelain cups. And then it kind of moves into some of, I guess maybe even like the plants on the side of the river. You kind of have the representation of the pyramids in the background. Hannah Carlson always will have a dragonfly somewhere. Oh wait, this isn't even Hannah Carlson, sorry. Then you kind of have like the dragonfly in the background. Moving into the Nile over here with this gorgeous like crocodile. Teacups and Art did a beautiful video explaining her use of color on this particular page, and I know that Karen Sativa did a color along for this one too, so I have to be careful and come up with different ideas for these two beautiful pages that we have here. Anyway, so now we're hitting ancient Egypt, touring some of the old pyramids, coming into more of hieroglyphics, and again representing that old civilization whose ruins we can still visit today. Coming into just small elements, again maybe doing monochrome to make this more cohesive. And coming now into more of the Nile ones with this gorgeous little hippo in the sudsy water. It's cute, it's smiling, but these are incredibly dangerous animals. They're grumpy and they have strong jaws, and they can even kill crocodiles. So like, they're gorgeous and cute, but they're dangerous animals. Don't get too close to them, I guess is the idea there. Even though over here it just looks super harmless and really cute. And I've already done a color along for this one actually. I used my Durant Inktense pencils on it, some of the new colors, and maybe I'll repeat that or keep that as the original one in this new color along challenge that I have set up. And then you kind of move on to Kenya with your Maasai tribe, like shield and spears, and you have some really beautiful big birds. No idea what those are. I love birds, if you can't tell. I'm trying to identify the species in a coloring book, like I'm slightly ridiculous, but I do love my birds. Coming into your water, so your big bison. These are also very dangerous, and when people do big game hunting back in the day, it's actually harder to kill those than to kill lions, because you can't really penetrate the horns on their skulls easily. You have to really get them right at the eyes, is what I heard, and they can rip you to shreds with those horns before they get to you. So fun fact, lions are not actually the most dangerous creatures to kill in those big game hunts. Hopefully they stopped all of that now, though. People killing big animals for sport is very sad, especially considering how much their habitat has been destroyed over time. But yeah, so you have this wonderful juxtaposition of the city in the background with all these animals in the foreground, and maybe it just kind of is a metaphorical representation of just like the coexisting of like humans in natural spaces. It could also be a darker metaphor of humans encroaching on natural land and kind of pushing them to smaller spaces, but that's me being an English teacher and getting too dark. It's a gorgeous page. I'm gonna stop overanalyzing it. And then of course you have your magnificent cheetah sitting on this tree, some tribal huts over here, moving into another vignette of happy forest creatures, a wonderful, gorgeous zebra over here just covered in flowers, and the beautiful elephants. They're my grandma's favorite creature. She has, I think I once counted 97 elephant figurines in her house, but elephants are really gorgeous. And then you have these like hot air balloons, which might be like a nice tourist thing maybe for people to do, both local and international, to kind of like be in a hot air balloon and look around. What's nice about them is that they're not noisy. They're heated, with hot air, and so there's like a little fire in the middle. But otherwise you're kind of just like floating around in a balloon, and so I think it's perhaps less intimidating than a big noisy truck for wildlife to go see them, I'd imagine. But hot air balloons are pretty cool, except you can't predict where they land. So like, what if they land in the middle of a stream? What if they land in the middle of like a pack of angry hippos? I don't know, but yes, I've hot air balloons. That's an interesting way, perhaps, if you can land it safely, of exploring. And you can kind of see that here with more people going up in hot air balloons. I wonder if Rita Berman went on a hot air balloon. I'm assuming she visited the African continent before writing this book. But we're now coming away from Kenya and going into Tanzania. More safari images over there, more tribal masks, and some of those patterns on our rhinoceros over here, and some extra birds on the side, unidentifiable species. Over there. Sorry, I just love birds. And then you have your giraffe, more birds, yay for me, more maps kind of showing the whole progression. And I love the naughty faces here. Like, that's so cute. Just look at his little chubby face. He's so, you know that he's the kind of monkey who will steal your banana. And you have like this one here, it's like the professor, except again a bit of a naughty face, like, it wasn't me, I'm too innocent. He will admit it and just be confrontational with you if he steals a banana. He would just be in shock and is terrified of everything and steal a banana, and then it will be incomprehensibly like shaken about it. I don't know, I'm just kind of imagining all these little monkeys stealing bananas. Although nowadays a monkey wouldn't really steal a banana. Like, again, my family works with various NGOs, so I grew up all over the place, and one of the places we lived was actually in India. And I remember like there's this person who was trying to feed them a banana, and he had a Coca-Cola, or sorry, a Fanta bottle in his other hand, which was like a soft drink, and then the monkey ignored the banana, went for the soft drink, grabbed it, and actually opened it and drank the Coca-Cola. And it was kind of funny. They're choosing, I guess, like humans too, right? Like, when do we choose the fruit? We'd rather drink the fast food than the fruit. Monkeys are kind of the same way. So it's kind of cool that it knew how to open a cap. And yeah, and now you're coming to our flamingos, the gorgeous, gorgeous, elegant flamingos. I love these animal vignettes that she has, like this one here just covered in the flowers, and even like that super cute hippo, which is covered in flowers. Even though I'm not sure what I'd do in this background, I'd figure that out when I get there. Yeah, and there's like a little king flamingo. I can identify this bird. And then coming into this gorgeous long stream, you have a pelican over there, a woman on the water, kind of like in a canoe, just pushing her way through. And now we're coming down south to the island of Madagascar. I love Madagascar. You have your little chameleon next to a paintbrush with paint splatters with this lovely montserrat leaf, dripping paint. You have your little ringtail lemur over here, and you have your wonderful whales over there, and just some of the old buildings next to the baobab trees. Oh, it's so pretty. And your sea turtles and your manta rays and your octopus all coming in here with your nice little gull. That is definitely a gull, talking about birds. So wonderful. And yeah, just like light sources. You can just have light sources coming out this way here. I've actually colored this page too in my other book. I was experimenting with my new small set of polychromos pencils. Not my favorite, so if I redo it, I'll just redo it away from what I did there. But what I was trying to do was use all 36 of the new polychromos that I had on the page. Here, I can actually show you that page. It's this one right here. And I first tried to do, I was also trying to teach myself how to use Neocolor 2s, because I have like a small set of them, and I want to justify getting the whole set by using the small set, but it's just, I don't know. I guess it could look nice, this effect, like this old paper effect, maybe like over here on this page, but it just kind of looks a bit off there. And I ended up painting using a Posca pen in that background there. But I don't know, the orange to yellow in the polychromos were gorgeous, and that blue indigo is really, really nice as well. I'm still trying to figure out the pencils and how they work, and I actually tore the paper a tiny bit using them. Too many layers with too much pressure probably, but I'll get there. I'll figure it out. I'm not giving up. And I'll be redoing this page with a different color palette. Like, I love this here. Like, maybe I'll just make everything that, or even like these dark green blues. Like, that could be really cool too. Yeah, and ended up covering the whole background and in Posca pen, just to even it out. But as you can see, I didn't do a good job. It's still a bit uneven. Anyways, sorry. I would figure something else out when it comes to the full color along that I would find more aesthetic. And then more small vignettes, all the fruits of Madagascar, coming over to some of the tuk-tuks and more of the ringtail lemurs. And then some more vignettes with some of those baobab trees. Your hippo bird, that's that buddy over there. The African hippo is different from the Eurasian hippo, fun fact. And I love this, a cat. The cat is just chilling in a little boat as it's exploring the area. What is this? Oh, I guess that's the baobab tree that has, you can live inside it. It has like a little window. That's cute. Yeah, and then after that, you're moving down to South Africa, hitting the beaches of South Africa with more gulls, and I guess they have penguins down there. I did not know that. And I guess that's like a beach house over there, so really fun beach house vibes. I love that this is shaped like a stamp. I'll be really excited to get to this here, just have it be a stamp and pretend that that's like a paper in the background and it's a close-up of a stamp. And then you have all of your drink mixes with your little cocktail shakers over there, and your small little mocktails or cocktails depending on what floats your boat, and very juicy, almost sangria like mix there. Oh, it's a cocktail with 1 fruit, 1 citron, 1 mint, sugar, and I'm guessing that's fuzzy water. I don't know, I don't speak German. I completely made that up. And then you come to a place called Kaapstad. I don't know, is that Cape Town? Maybe. Seems to be a fair, yeah, that's Table Mountain. So you have Table Mountain in Cape Town, and more whales. Just very, very beachy. Seems to be on the coast for most of these images. And then you have this gorgeous like explosion of flowers and bees, and then coming into like just other nice little vignettes over here with all the different animals. Our gorgeous like tribal stylized lion over here is just really, really nice. And yeah, and now we're shifting over away from, let's take a picture. Shifting over towards Mali. So this is going to be West Africa. And so coming into Mali, we have some nice old mosques over here. And again, Karen Sativa did a color along for this, so I'm gonna have to be careful, do something different. Coming into some of those gorgeous like vegetable markets with some like lizards, maybe geckos over there. And then just like the tribal print pattern, that's just so beautiful. Again, just complete earth tones and ochres, I think, for all of these. Some drums and tribal masks and cowrie shells, some desert foxes and camels over here, and nighttime comes with Morocco. So this is so cool that it's this like nighttime page, and I'd have to figure out how to do this. I actually started Googling photos of like Morocco at night, and it's just so bright that it doesn't, like, it's super bright with all the light coming out, that all the buildings get just really darkened. But that's not going to be aesthetic for a coloring book. So I'd have to figure out like, how do I represent the fact that it's night without it clashing the night sky, but still just pop in a nice way. So I'll figure something out for this, but this is gorgeous. And now you have like, again, your Moroccan markets with your little tagines and your beautiful like pouring thingies. What's it called? Not a kettle, my brain's breaking. A tea pouring thingy. I'm sorry, my brain is still broken. And geometric patterns. So earlier you had more in Mali, kind of like the tribal patterns, and now you're coming into Morocco, North Africa, with more of those tile work geometric patterns. And then a big hearts and more geometry. And I love these doors. 100% this is going to be blue. I don't care if someone else online did it blue. This is a blue door. It's going to be maybe even like the city of Fez, which has all these blue buildings everywhere. That's going to be a very gorgeous blue page, I've decided. And yeah, so coming towards the end, another bazaar, some of their really gorgeous glass and brass lamps, more bazaars, more paraphernalia, the Eye of Fatima. You have it's like a ward away the evil eye sign, and yeah, just all the paraphernalia. I guess this is coming towards the end of their travels because it says journey, and then you're mixing like a Madagascar sticker with Egypt. So it's kind of like all the paraphernalia maybe that you collect in all the travels and put in your suitcase and bring home with you, like the gift shop items like origami looking giraffes, some pots, your hats, your very dusty shoes at this point, some more comfy slippers when you want to step out of those dusty shoes. And yeah, and so just wrapping it up with a snake as a vignette, and over here you have maybe even like dawn, noon, and dusk could be something with our 3 long strips for our final vignettes over here. It's like the Lion King except with an elephant in the middle. Kind of reminds me of just like the center of attention of everything with the sun behind this gorgeous elephant. And then just another combo, this busy combo of all the experiences pushed together with this like dreamscape in the middle. And then that seems to be getting even smaller and smaller, constrained to just like a few in a book, a few little photos in a book surrounded by flowers. It's kind of like the wrap up, you know, like the letter writing, the wrap up of this journey through Africa, the wind down of it, trying to process all of this. And as it processes, you know, just it turns into the stories. And that's it. That's it. Gorgeous book. I love that it's a coloring book that, you know, guides you through this adventure and also guides you through a very sweet story. So I'm excited to color along in this. As I do so, I would really appreciate if you could like the videos, subscribe, and write a comment. And I'd also love feedback, by the way. Like I said, I'm pretty new to forming YouTube channels and things like that. Just give me feedback of what you like or what you'd prefer me to do instead. And that could help guide me as I go on this journey of doing a full book of color along. Thank you for watching.